What is that?
You just want to take these electrodes and place them on your temples like so. Damn, bro.
Okay, we'll see what's gonna happen next, okay?
If you think of your brain as a hard drive, then this just transfers the files. Then this just transfers the files.
You serious?
Right, so I just came from watching It's What's Inside. It's What's Inside on Netflix, released on October 4th. The premise of this film is a pre-wedding reunion descends into a psychological nightmare for a group of college friends when a surprise guest arrives with a mysterious suitcase that starts to tear the group apart. First of all, it's not a surprise guest. They had invited the person, they just didn't know if he'd show up. Second of all, this movie isn't horror, it's more sci-fi drama, in my opinion. Now, the first issue with this film, I'm going to try and not have spoilers. The first issue with this film is that it has an ensemble cast. You're dealing with 6-7 people or something. And the issue is that it's a very homogeneous group of people. What I mean by homogeneous is, yes, there is a rock star chick, there is a blonde chick, there is a black chick, there is a white dude. Yes, on the surface, they look different, but they kind of behave all the same. And the thing is, they are past their campus days, but they act a bit like high schoolers, to be honest with you. There was this one character, even in the movie, they highlight that he says bro all the time. Found him to be kind of dumb, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I found him to be kind of dumb. There's a way he walks up to this one guy who has so much power in the plot, and he's like, man, we snitched on you, man. But we're cool, right? Why would you walk up to him and just confess? And you only confess stuff if you really have to, but don't just walk up and snitch. This movie is about maybe 1 hour 40 minutes or something. The first 45 minutes I found it to be pretty annoying. Why? Because the movie can be quite self-indulgent. It's trying to act like it's doing something super amazing with some slow-mo shots that are very unnecessary, some spinning shots of the camera that are so unnecessary, some soundtracks which are so unnecessary. They're trying to act like it's doing this really epic thing, but it's just, I don't know. It's like if you gave a teenager some leeway in the writing process and the filmmaking process, because why is it being so extra with its spinning shots and slow-mos and funny soundtracks? In fact, when I was watching the film, I was like, no wonder in the opening of the movie you had some dude, touching himself, because it's an allegory for the film. The film is just trying to act like, oh yeah, we're doing something really dope. And yet this concept has been done by, when I was watching this film, I was just like, this is Freaky Friday. If you haven't watched Freaky Friday, I'm not ruining anything. This is in the trailer of the film. Basically, in this film, a bunch of friends meet up. One of them comes with a suitcase, and the suitcase is this machine that allows people to switch bodies. That's in the trailer. I'm not ruining anything. It's in the trailer. So it's what happens after that becomes very interesting. However, even after they switch bodies for the first time, it takes a while for the plot to kick in, and I see where the film was really going. This movie, despite it being about switching bodies, it's not really about switching bodies. What I like about this film is that, yes, despite what I just said, the negativities that I just said, there's a lot of positives in this movie, such as, for example, they're not just, it's not gimmicky. You might think, oh, it's just a film about people switching bodies. But there are themes here that are being explored that I really like. For example, dysfunction of relationships. For example, when the movie starts, you have this couple that's having issues, their sex life, but as soon as they show up at where their friends are meeting, they're like, hey, oh yeah, we're supposed to get engaged. They're acting like everything is fine. But I like that. I like that the film is trying to show that couples can pretend like everything is fine on the surface, but deep down they're suffering. Also, there's the Instagram is part of the plot, And just as I said, just like Instagram, the way people on Instagram pretend like, hey, my life is great, but in real life they're suffering. It's allegorical, just like these characters who are suffering in their relationship, but when they're around people, they're like, hey, everything is fine. Number two theme that I liked in this movie is they're trying to explore, what do we really value in people? Is it looks or personality? Especially when we're like choosing someone to date, what are we really like valuing? Is it looks or personality? Because once the switching of the bodies begins, there are a lot of people who divulge stuff about how, I've always liked you. Events that make you contrast someone's looks versus someone's personality. You think someone is good, but really they're kind of evil. This person is pretty on the outside, but inside they're a very rotten human being. Also, there are themes of vicarious living. So, of course, I'm not going to try and spoil the plot later, but later on, I mean, if you switch bodies, obviously you'd ask yourself, if you could switch bodies with like a famous celebrity, you don't know what living the life of that person is. And also another theme that it touches on is online media and its influence on the psyche. There's this one dude, he's very addicted to watching special videos online.
There was a ghost. There's ectoplasm.
And you can see how it affects his psyche, and also how Instagram affects the psyche of one of the main characters. I think there's a scene where you see her like popping pills because of her anxiety, I think. I have a lot of good stuff to say, despite my negativity in the opening of this review. I have a lot of positive stuff to say. I liked the editing. There's a lot of funny editing in this film, especially when they're like explaining stuff that happened in the past and stuff that has already happened or stuff that is going to happen. They have this like funny editing that's very hilarious. And I have to admit, I believe there's something in writing called Chekhov's gun. I don't know if that's the name, but Chekhov's gun is basically, if in the movie, if we show you there's a gun here, that gun better be used later on in the plot. And they do that many times. They tell you something that you thought was very innocuous, and then later it becomes super important to the plot, and I really liked that. In fact, this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but there's this part where they tell you that someone has an allergy to something, and it's said so innocuously, but by the time it's being used in the plot later on, May saw it coming and I was like, wow, that was very clever. So out of 10, my personal rating is I would give this film a 7 out of 10. It does at least the bare minimum of entertaining me. I would say maybe the first 45 minutes I found it to be kind of annoying and self-indulgent. But it takes the time to pick up. Do you know how annoying it is when characters are everywhere just yelling bro at each other? Bro. Seriously, bro. These guys are past their teen years and campus years, but they still act like they're still there. But other than that, once you really kick into what the plot is trying to tell you and the way the plot plays out, it's a pretty interesting film. It's an interesting film with a concept that I've already seen being used, but it does its own thing. And I enjoyed it. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I can't give it less, I can't give it more. If you've enjoyed this review, make sure to smash like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this film. No spoilers in the comments, because I think it's a film that everyone should watch. And I think even you should rewatch the film, because there's a twist at the end. Once you've watched the film and you've seen the twist, maybe you should rewatch it now knowing the twist. And then maybe it will even be a better rewatch on a second watch. On this screen, I'll leave other reviews I've done. Thank you so much for watching this. I'll see you in the next one.